Greetings and welcome to the Southside Help Center show. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. This is a live call-in show, so if you have any questions about anything we're talking about, please give us a call here at the station. The number here is 312-738-1060, so please give us a call if you have any questions about what we're going to talk about. What we're going to talk about today is going to be our youth program, so parents, please get involved, get your pens and pencils ready, get ready to call. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, please do. The number here, 312-738-1060. We got Shauna Mitchell over there on the phones, and she is nothing but the best. So please give us a call here at the station. Also, I have a phenomenal guest with me this evening. She is youth program extraordinaire, Miss Ericka Dawson. She is a phenomenal youth program coordinator, and we want to make sure that we bring on to talk about some of our youth programs. One of the biggest things we talk about with parents and parenting is we always talk about alternative programs. I find that as a parent, what makes a good parent is a lot of times is when we recognize and acknowledge things that we don't know, and we start to put our children in front of people who do. But one of the biggest things as parents we need to know is those individuals who are providing the services, and that's why we have Ms. Dawson here today. And she's going to talk about some of the youth programs the Southside Help Center provides. So if you have any questions for Ericka, give us a call here, 312-738-1060. This is a live call-in show, the Southside Help Center show, and welcome.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Cherry.
No problem.
Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. Thank you. Well, I am the program coordinator for the after-school program at Southside Help Center. Basically, we run a after-school program for youth ages 10 through 17 from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. We are located at 10420 South Halsted. Our after-school program, it's a comprehensive program. We do just about everything. We have academic assistance. We do have tutors that come by from about 3 to 4 and work with the students, homework assistance. We have female and male mentoring at our specific facility as well as inside of the local elementary schools. We have cultural field trips, so we do take the kids to different places like museums. We take them to beaches. We take them skating. Anything to get them out of their regular environment. We do our best to push that. We also have some after-school matters programs that are located within our facility. And those programs, of course, as you know, are for high school students, and the high school students actually love those programs. And we have like a broadcasting program, and it's great. It's great to see the kids put forth such an effort. We also have violence prevention workshops, team building, leadership development. All of those things are encompassed in our after-school program.
Wow, it sounds like a lot, and it truly is. And the thing I say with our youth is we have to fill those voids. We have to provide them with something to do with that idle time. And it's so important that as parents we get involved with this process because we have to work. We don't have a choice a lot of times. We have to go to school to even get better employment. There's a lot of things that a parent has to go throughout the day. So we need something or someone to fill those voids, and that's why there's so many different programs available at the Southside Help Center. And we really want parents to take advantage of it because this is how we make our children well-rounded. One of the things that Ericka mentioned is going to be very important as the school year has just started is that after-school program where they actually deal with homework and that sort of thing. And I always talk about how as a parent, most of the time we have been out of school 10, 15 years when our kids begin school. So a lot of the stuff that they bring home is not real familiar to us. It's kind of foreign. So that's why it's so important when you get involved in these after school programs and they have individuals who are still in school themselves to come and do the tutoring and help them with the homework. We think that it's a more efficient process. So parents, please take advantage of that. I'm going to put this first one up here just so we can see. And this is Ericka going to talk real quickly about this. This just talks about our after-school program, and this is when it meets, the time, the dates, and so forth, Ericka.
Once again, we meet Monday through Friday from 2:30 to 5:30, ages 10 through 17. And the pictures that are on this flyer, those are not pictures off of the internet. Those are actual participants at actual activities. So I think it's important to show the type of fun that our students have. And this program is free. You do not have to pay for this program. There might be fees for field trips, but outside of that, everything else is free.
And free is always a good thing. So please, parents, we cannot say enough that we really need you guys to take advantage of these programs, because when we don't take advantage of them, the state, the government, the whomever, they come in and they take these programs away. So one of the things that I find with parenting is a lot of times we talk about the things we don't have. Well, let's talk about some things we do and take advantage of them. And the other thing that we talk about, as parents, we need to know who our providers are, you know, and that's some of the other things that Eric's going to talk about, is why is it so important as parents that they become so involved with what the children are doing. Talk about that a little bit, Eric.
Lots of times I don't see as much parent involvement as I would like to see. And so I wanted to take this opportunity not only to discuss our after school program, but also to discuss some of the benefits of parent involvement. For example, there should be a frequent contact between the parents and the teachers. The parents should always know what's going on with the student in the classroom. Parents go to work every day. They work their 9 to 5, and they are in constant communication with their direct supervisor. So why is it that parents don't feel like they should be in constant communication with the student's teacher? That's the student's direct supervisor. And it's important to know what's going on with your child. Just because your child is not getting the best grades, it might not be because your child doesn't understand the work. It could be an emotional issue. It could be a behavioral issue. And so the only way you would know that, though, is if you call the teacher, contact the school, set up those parent-teacher conferences. They're very important.
Absolutely. When my children were in school, one of the things that I did, for the most part, they knew me so very, very well because I made the process easy for them, and I would always say, it's help me to help you. So that when my kids were in violation of anything, to please contact me, and they had my personal number as well as I did theirs. And whenever something went wrong the first time, I believe that if you tell a child not to do something the first time, you meant it that time. So therefore, don't call me after they've done it 3 or 4 times and tell me that they've done it 3 or 4 times and this is the first time I've been contacted about it. Let me know the first time so that it can be addressed and help me to help you. And that's important for us as parents, and that's why we talk about relationships with our kids' direct supervisor. And if you look at the elements of time, how much time do we really spend with our children? We really have to look at the quality of the time and not the quantity. If you look at typically 8 hours of sleep, and if you look at typically 8 hours of work or school, that's only giving you an 8-hour window. And then you got to put the play time in there, you got to put dinner time in there and homework time in there, all of these other things. So if you look at the elements of time, it's really not a lot of time spent. So that's why it's so important that when you have after-school programs as well as schools, it's important that parents really know who those individuals who are administering their children's education, because we can't do it as parents. We only can do what we can do in the time that we have allotted. Because a lot of times what parents don't realize as well as people is the schools and the teachers spend more time with their children than they actually do.
Exactly.
And that ain't no bad thing, because we have to provide for our children, and that's why we talk about the quality as opposed to the quantity. And the same thing with the after school programs. You need to know Ms. Dawson, you need to know her staff and who's providing and administering those services. So parents, that's why we say get involved, because we understand that you have to go to work. We understand that there's things that needs to happen in order for our children to be provided for. Single parent homes, 2-parent homes, it really doesn't matter. It's necessary. So please, parents, get involved. I stayed involved, so please do stay involved in your children's lives. And again, the most difficult way for a child to fall through the crack is when a parent is very aware of the child's educational process, and when you do that, you know what your child is capable of. So oftentimes as parents, we're real quick to talk about what our kids will and won't do, and most of the times we really don't know, because we don't spend enough time studying our kids to know what they will and won't do. We just assume that they won't do it when in actuality they will. So it's important that we fill those voids, parents, and stay involved in the kids' lives so that we can definitely provide them with as much guidance as possible. And again, what makes a good parent is a parent who stays involved in their kids' lives, and again, making sure that the people that are in front of their kids are qualified to be there. So parents, please do stay involved. Okay.
Another benefit of parental involvement would just be, as long as the family is involved, then you are viewed as a unit, a problem-solving unit. You are viewed as a support system. Kids are kids. They're not adults. They don't have the mind state of adults. So when you ask them to begin to fix problems and come up with solutions, they only see life from a limited view. So they can only give you a limited response. But if the parent is involved and the parent and the child together sit down and discuss ways to solve the problem that would benefit all parties involved, the parent, the student, brothers and sisters that are in the house, if you sit down and discuss ways to involve all parties, then it makes it a little bit easier on the child. The child knows and understands, okay, mommy and daddy are here for me, and I can talk to them about anything.
Absolutely. And the other piece to that is definitely when a kid knows that a parent is extremely supportive of their behavior, activities, and all the resources surrounding the kids, they do better. Because I used to go to the school and I just look in the window and just look in that little square and wait until they see me, and then I'll be gone just like a ghost. And that's just to let them know, look, and you don't know when I'm here, when I'm coming, but I will be here. So when a child has the support, knows that the support is there, their behavior is totally different as a child who parent is never involved at the school, and otherwise they don't worry or concern themselves with whether or not their parents are going to show up, because they rarely do. So parents, we this is not an attack on parents. We're trying to find a way to help parents become involved with the process, and that's what this show is all about. We have after school programs, but one of the things that motivates and make those programs go are good parents or parents who are involved.
Exactly.
I'm going to talk about a piece that I do with some of the brothers, and it is an unbelievable process. Let me let Ericka go first, and then I'm going to go after Eric.
Okay.
Because it's the Ericka show today. Go ahead.
Another benefit of parental involvement would just be frequent communication of high expectations. When you are constantly talking to your child and you are aware of what your child is doing, then you can correct your child's behavior and let them know this is not what we expect. We expect much more from you. But the only way you can convey that is to know what's going on. If you don't know that they are performing underneath your standard, then you can't say anything to them about what they're doing. The only way you can make the change and make sure that you focus on higher expectations is to be in constant communication with your child, constant communication with the teachers, the program coordinators, people like myself at the after-school programs, constant communication to make sure the student knows that we have high expectations. This is what we expect. So you set the bar here so that when they go here, they might feel a little uncomfortable. Like the bar has already been set. Why am I doing less than? And there's room for change in that.
Absolutely. This is the Southside Help Center show. Today we're talking about parental involvement. It's very important. Parents, if you're out there, you have any questions or comments, please give us a call, because one of the things that I found that there's not a real book on parenting. So there's a lot of different methodologies. There's a lot of different things that we do as parents that work. There's a lot of things we do as parents that don't. So parents, we're definitely looking for you to give us a call here at the station. This is a live call-in show. Our number is 312-738-1060 if you have any questions or comments about the topic today. And the topic is benefits of parental involvement. It's very important. One of the things I do with my young brothers in the mentoring program is when they have children, and we always talk about what makes a good parent. There's so many different elements to making a good parent. And one of the things that I tell the young brothers, even if they're not involved with the kids' life, what they need to do is on a quarterly basis. That means every 3 months, go get your kid and take your kid somewhere. Now, this is the thing about kids and their memory. One of the things it is, if there's no memories available for them, that's what they'll remember. They'll always say that they don't remember they did anything with their pops, and that's so important for us as fathers. The other thing, if you look at this like this, if you take your kids somewhere every 3 months, fathers, if you're listening, just check this out. If you take your kids somewhere every 3 months, be it McDonald's, be it to the museum, be it to the zoo, be it to the ballpark, every 3 months, that's going to be 4 activities a year that kid will never forget. I promise you. He ain't going to never forget he went to McDonald's with his father. He ain't going to never when he went to the zoo. If you take every 3 months, go get that kid and take him somewhere and do something. That's 4 activities, major activities for that kid a year. In 5 years, you'll have 20 memories that kid will never forget. Even some of the worst of us as fathers should be able to do that. Every 3 months, put a few dollars together. We talking about, man, to take your kid to McDonald's, $20. You know what I'm saying? And don't tell me you ain't got $20. You can hustle up on $20. That's the least amount you'll have to spend to provide that child with a memory that'll last a lifetime. Be it bad or good, they will remember it. So that's why I always tell you, young brothers, every 3 months, take your kid and do something with them. The worst of us as fathers can do that. And in 5 years, that kid will be looking at 20 major things that he's done with his father. He'll never, ever, ever forget it. And if you keep that going, you're talking about 40 and 10. You're talking about 60 and 15. And don't stop because a kid has gotten older. This is when you pull them closer. So that's just a little tidbit for you, brothers, is if you do something with your kid every 3 months, for a year, that's 4 events that they'll never, ever, ever forget. And that's good parenting. I don't care what nobody says. If you're able to just do that, you will be surprised the benefit that it will have on your child. And the other thing is you use that. Because once a kid gets accustomed to going somewhere every 3 months with his father, they'll look forward to that activity. So now you use it. And now the grades have to be up to par. And we can do this and we can do that. And some of the things that they would like to do, throw in the WWF in there, and take them up there to see The Rock and all of them cats who, I don't even know if The Rock's still wrestling, but all of them cats who do the wrestling, John Cena and all of them, that stuff is big for them. So that can be your major event, and fellas, save up for it, man. If it costs you $100, save $100, Don't eat out once a week. Don't buy one pack of squares. Even the worst of us as fathers can do that. And again, this helps your child to become more well-rounded, and it gives them a lot of exposure. So that's just a little something for the fathers out there. Ericka.
I totally agree with what you're saying. Those types of activities, they add value to people.
Absolutely.
And when a person feels valued, then they can feel like they can conquer the world.
Absolutely.
That is something that we definitely need to make sure we do as parents, is add value to our children. If you don't tell them that you love them, then who knows who might tell them. Mm-hmm. Somebody could be lying to them when they get older, and it could be the worst person that could have ever told them anything. Mm-hmm. So we have to add value, and spending time with our kids adds value, communicating with them adds value, being open and honest. These are all things that add value to people, and value is what yields success.
Absolutely. We're going to have one more, show you another event, and then we're going to go to our next topic. Ericka, talk about this a little bit.
I have a few flyers here for the after school program. Here are some field trips that we're going to be taking. We are going to Dunn Technology Academy. It's a school in the local area. They have a farmer's market, and so I'm asking all people to come out September 17th. This is, all you got to do is show up at Southside Help Center. It's right down the street. We're going to walk to the farmer's market. They have fresh vegetables, they have fresh fruit, and you all can purchase it. Kids get an opportunity to see a mini farm, which is something they don't get to see every day. And so that'll be fun for the family. One more, and then we're going to go to our next thing. Okay, we have a movie night at the center. It'll be September 21st. We're going to watch the movie Waiting for Superman, and this basically is a movie that discusses the United States public school system and the effects of charter schools versus just regular public schools on our kids' education. I think it is very important. And again, that's going to be free. We got to say it again. That's going to be free. So again, this can account for one of those events. When you go to do, you may think it's something small or something that will not impact your child, but I guarantee you, anything that kids love us as parents. They don't know what else to do. They do love us until we do something different to change that. But it's just in them to love us. And you will not think that this thing is a big thing, but just a simple coming up there, watching a movie with your kid, having a dialogue with your kid, that stuff is big. So do not minimize the effect that something such as this right here is a free event. You can bring your popcorn. They're going to have popcorn. They're going to watch Waiting for Superman. It's going to talk about charter school versus public schools. You may not think it, but this is big. This is
This is a big event, and it may seem small to you, but I promise you, do it, and then see the results of having it. I know you got a list there as well, Ericka.
I'm
If you want to
done.
go down, you
Oh,
good?
yeah, I can just go over it briefly. A feeling of control over your life, when you are in control over your child's life, and I hear so often, when I have a child, that child becomes my life. There's
Absolutely.
nothing outside of that child. So when you're in control of your child's life and you know what's going on with them, then you have a sense of control over your life. A family dream of success for the future. That goes back to just expressing your expectations. It helps to create a dream that the whole family can achieve. Hard work as a key to success. Remember to tell your kids that nothing is free in this world. Nobody owes us anything.
That's right.
We must work. Everybody else has to do it, and so do we.
Absolutely.
Clearly understood house rules and have them consistently reinforced. Don't say one day, no, you can't go, and then the next day say you can. Stick to what you're saying. I remember when I was a little girl, I wanted to go skating, and my mother told me no. And I said, well, do you have the money? She said, yeah, I have the money. I said, well, are we doing something on Saturday? She said, no. I said, well, why did you tell me no? She said, because you need to understand what no feels like. Because at some point in time in your life, somebody's going to tell you no. And I don't need you to be upset. I need you to understand it, get past it, and get through it. Yeah. So she reinforced what she wanted. An emphasis on spiritual growth. Everybody has the right to believe in whatever they want to believe in. And even if what you want to believe in is yourself, that's okay. But please make sure that you continue to grow in that thought process.
Absolutely.
Continue to reach for higher ground.
Absolutely. And the thing that I realized, like even with my sons, they're adults now, 22, 24. They still call me on a regular basis to get advice. And I'll be sometime looking at the phone like, is this dude serious? They be very serious. But that comes up, that's from years of me reinforcing. And again, as a parent, they come to us thinking we have all the answers, and it's not that we have all the answers. I just never gave them the wrong answer. And if I didn't have the answer, I did everything that I could to get the answer. So, and I made sure that I remained consistent with that. And I always tell a story about one of my sons would always do opposite of what I told him. And I contemplated telling him the wrong thing to get him to do the right thing. And then I said to myself, this will be the one time that he listens to me. And then that'll affect my credibility. So I still had to consistently give him the good information regardless of what he did with it. So as parents, they think we know everything, and it's not that we do. I just never told them wrong. So continue to be all that you are to your children. And again, get as much information as you possibly can so that when your children come to you, even as they get older, as they get grown, as they still have their own children, they'll continue to come to you as a parent for the guidance. So parents, it's so important that we stay focused and being a part of our children's life and providing them with the necessary education that they need. And education comes in many different forms, in many different ways, and we always talk about the mother as the first teacher of the child, and that is still so very true. So it's important that we get the right information to pass on to our children. And they say mothers is the first teachers of the child because they are the ones who are most exposed to them. Throughout history, men have been the providers, and sometimes that has changed, that role has changed, and there's a number of reasons that has happened. We won't go into that, but my point being is it's so important that we get the necessary information to provide our kids and get them as well-rounded as possible. So parents, this is a live call-in show. Our number 312-738-1060. If you have any questions, this will be an opportunity to call in and get them answered. If not, Southside Help Center is located 10420 South Halsted. These programs, we got another over here. Let me show you this real quick. What we got here?
Just family game night, which looks like it'll be held October 15th. That is a Saturday. We're going to have games that are family oriented. We're going to play Family Feud and then Fear Factor.
Okay, we got games and everything for you. The Southside Help Center is truly a great place to be. Parents, help us to help you. We talk about alternative programs. The center has many alternative programs. We talked about a few of them today. Miss Ericka Dawson is the program coordinator at the Southside Help Center for all of our youth programs. She is completely committed and dedicated to the work that she does, and she's looking for our children an opportunity to grow. So she is truly qualified to be there. So please come out, meet Ericka, meet the rest of the staff, those individuals who will be providing these services for your young people. It's so important that we make that connection with those parents so that when we're talking about different things and dealing with those youth, we'll have the support that we need, and the support comes from you as parents. So parents, please be involved in your kids' life. Please call the center if you need any assistance. Bring the kids back. Come by with them to meet us. We'll see you again. We'll be back on next week. Until we see you again, thank you, Miss Dawson.
Thank you.
We bid you peace.